Turn to the story now. A Newclare mother and her 3 co-accused who were seen in a viral video encouraging a 4-year-old boy to smoke mandrax through a bottleneck pipe have been charged with attempted murder. They briefly appeared in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court yesterday, where the matter was postponed to Monday for legal consultations. The suspects will remain in custody. Now, the group have reportedly admitted to giving the boy drugs. They were arrested on Tuesday on charges of child abuse and neglect. Their cell phones have also been confiscated as evidence. The boy is now in a place of safety. Let's speak now to the Central Drug Authority Deputy Chairperson, Nomcebo Dlamini. Good to have you, Chen. Thank you very much for your time. Now, looking at that video yourself, what are the pillars of our drug strategy you think need to be improved to address that situation so we see a reduction in that kind of behavior?
First, I just want to say that we were horrified again, unfortunately, when we saw this video, just as we were horrified in 2021, and just as we continue to be horrified when we see these things continuing to happen. And I personally am tired of being horrified and of screaming, but we need to do something, as you say. The National Drug Master Plan is there. We're currently working on the next draft, the next National Drug Master Plan for 2025 to 2030. And what we need to see there is a stronger way to ensure the enforcement of our laws, because we do have laws. We do have child protection, the Children's Act that mandates for the protection of children, but it's just the enforcement that seems to just be lacking. And also, we have normalized the use of substances in this country. And perhaps that's another problem that we need to figure out how in the next National Drug Master Plan we bring to the fore to say, as a people and as communities, we need to stop normalizing the use of substances. And we saw the pipe, it was so shocking that there's so much smoke in that room. Even secondary smoking is bad for the child. And for a child to be exposed like that is shocking in itself, let alone the fact that now the child is being made to puff at that pipe. And I'm sure you have also seen that now there's a lot of vaping that's going around. There's a lot of these shops, vaping shops that are everywhere. And there is legislation that needs to be strengthened around that, especially when it comes to the vaping shops that exist, because all these things, they make it seem normal to use these substances. And we are very much aware of what needs to be done. We just need to get on to doing it.
So looking at the Drug Master Plan, I mean, one of the goals, of course, is demand reduction. So you reduce the demand for the product and prevent, I suppose, both parents using and them getting their kids to use as well. If you look at that particular matrix, is it moving? Is it shifting? Are we reducing demand?
We are definitely not winning. As I was saying before, that we still say we are harrowed by these things that are happening because we're not really winning. And perhaps one of the things that we need to look at is, what about the advertising? What about the things that make it seem okay for our communities to be engaging in this behavior? It may not necessarily be the behavior that we saw in that video, but the fact that our streets have normalized. When I was growing up, I just remember, Tulas, that when I was growing up, seeing a person drunk on the street was so not common, but now it seems to be normal. We see it happening all the time. Seeing people puffing and even young children puffing, it seems to be normal. So we're not winning definitely in the demand reduction, which is why we are saying at the Central Drug Authority, we need to strengthen our laws, the legislation that we have, and then also the enforcement of the legislation that exists, and not just have it existing on paper. We've got an amazing National Drug Master Plan already, and we are improving on that amazing plan. And it has been lauded all over the world to say South Africa is a great National Drug Master Plan. But then the issue is, are we implementing the National Drug Master Plan? Are we actually executing on what we have said we are going to do? And that's what we need to do. And that's what I would encourage in the next phase of the Central Drug Authority, because our term is ending in March. There's going to be a new team that comes on board. And perhaps that's the thing that we need to focus on. Execution, no longer talk. We're tired of talking. We've spoken, we've had these programs, we've spoken on TV, we've spoken everywhere. But then we need to get to execution. And perhaps the first execution is the issue of the Liquor Amendment Bill of 2016. That is still a draft that is refusing to get tabled. I don't know whether it's it refusing or the industry or whoever, but we need to get that tabled because all these things are linked, unfortunately. And we have the licit and the illicit. But we tend to feel like if we are not focused on the illicit substances like alcohol, then it's okay. We can just simply try to put out the fires when it comes to the illicit. But we need to get to a point where we understand that substance use is substance use, and these things are connected. And when we have legislation that that would enable us to deal with demand reduction better, but we are refusing to table it, we are refusing to get it to a point where we can use it, then we obviously are showing that we are not serious about this problem.
So you're saying top of that implementation plan would be finalized legislation that still remains unfinalized?
Yes, Tulis, that's what I'm saying. Let's finalize what exists. We have plans. Let's action them. We just need to execute on the plans that we have. And of course, the protection of children needs to be uppermost in everything that we do. We know that, for instance, with the issue of alcohol, we do need the money that we are getting from the industry in some instances. But the reality also is that we are getting about 173 billion or so from the industry, from the sales of alcohol. But we are losing almost 300 billion from the harms that come from alcohol. And these things don't equate. So perhaps those are discussions also that we need to have to say, what are we gaining even from the tobacco industry that are pushing for the sales, for the legalization of the vaping shops and all that? What are we going to gain and what in turn are we losing? I don't think we want to lose our children. At this rate, though, it really seems like we are really, really not winning in terms of protecting our children. We need to change this as South Africa.
Appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on. Deputy Chairperson Nomcebo Dlamini of the Central Drug Authority. Following that video that has gone viral. And of course, arrests have now been made. That matter will be back in court in the next week. Right.